Alrighty, people of the world, this is GTArajgaming, and I welcome you back to the channel once again. And today, we are back with more Forza Horizon 5. Now, keeping in mind, me and Forza do have, well, we tend to butt heads. Alright, me and Forza butt heads all the bloody time. But there's just something about it that keeps bringing me back. And it's not the main gameplay aspect. In actuality, when you take away the regular driving, right? Or not the regular driving. When you take away the regular races and pop into things like seasonals, that's really when it is pretty freaking decent. So, yeah. Regular races are just so buggy, so out there, and they're relying on rubber banding and custom profiles. It is not great. It's just not great at all. Not in the slightest. So that's where just, for the most part, when it comes to me driving in this game, I'm mainly just driving around the overworld. Or just doing seasonals. But I've been neglecting to do seasonals. So, yeah. Last time I was in, on my own, outside of stream, I was just casually messing around with a McLaren F1. The original. However, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do, I'm going to hop in a DeLorean, we're going to be driving around, and what we're going to do is tackle maybe a seasonal event. Now, depending on how you drive and what you have to offer, you may need to upgrade your car, and it could take some time to do some tests, and just all that kind of stuff. Now, sure, you can 100% pick a car that's suitable for what you're doing and go with it. But you miss out on just the shenanigans of it all and just being able to upgrade. So I wholeheartedly recommend upgrading, but we've got something to take care of first and foremost. Take this number 70 Porsche 935 across the finish line as a checkered flag. Yeah, whatever. I've got 4 super wheel spins to go through, so we're going to do a bit of gambling first and foremost. Sell that. Sell that. Oh my god! Sell. And then click. Oh, that is great. Now we've got a single wheel spin. A 150. What the hell's a utility sedan? What is that from? So, never mind. Take that off. Seasonals. Are there any decent seasonals that I can participate in? We have a high-speed circuit for 1 day, 9 hours, or 19 hours. And then the Reservoir Sprint. Porsche 911? Do I have a Porsche 911? I should do. Porsche! I have a ton of these bloody things. 911. Yeah, I've got a few of them. Yeah, I have a few of them. We can do that racing event. Because when you get right down to it, you need to make sure you have what you need. But first and foremost, we are absolutely taking on that Labs event. This one right here. Modern sports cars for a Celine S1? Brother. Anyway, we're just gonna keep on driving. We keep on driving, see what we can See what the competition is going to be like in these races, alright? I know I can't use my DeLorean for the races. I would prefer that. However, I want to take this particular DeLorean into a race at some point. However, we are only C class, borderline B class. So I'm going to reconfigure the car so that it can take on lower tier races without being all Slippy McGee here. Because keep it in mind, it is on stock tires, and I am not changing them. I refuse to change the stock tires on this thing. Hey, welcome in. There we go. You know what I need to pop back into at some point is the Crew Motorfest. Because they're releasing a customization update and it looks pretty decent. I'm in the wrong gear. Who says the outcasts and the sinners? Damn, I love that song. Losers with Post Malone and Jelly Roll. Let's go. Hype. Yeah, I wish the Forza team had done better with this. Some of the shit is just inaccurate as hell in this car. I mean, we have a supercharger on it, or turbo on it. So you can rev it to high heaven and get the fucking that everyone like, or that car guys like. Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. But we still have 3 and a bit miles to drive, and because I haven't driven this car in a while, I'd rather drive it from point A to point B this time around, rather than be like, oh, let's teleport to the marker. I find more, I mean, if I wanted to get there quick, I could take Kit. I could easily just take Kit. If I wanted to. I might. But I'm very happy and content just driving this thing. Like, I'm not racing it. And good golly. I want one. I want 5. I want 5 DeLoreans. I want them all. There was like 2,000. There's 2,000 still in existence, give or take. I want one. I want one really bad. Give me all your DeLorean. They are mine now. Anyway, enough of my rambling. How's chat doing? What have you been up to today? Can this even be... Is the game even being heard? Let's crank that up a bit. Oh, that'd be such a... That would be such a fun sound to hear. Can't fucking see out the windshield because the time socket control box is on top. Nah. I just had to say, that reminds me, did I ever redeem the skill points for this? Holy shit, I didn't! What have I been doing? That was free money! And this is 7,500, you get Forza points? That reminds me, unlock pack. That reminds me, when we're done, I need to go and redeem Forza-thon points. So yeah, the event slab stuff, for the most part, easy. And it is a guaranteed free car if you can win in the first place. Yeah, this one's gonna... Do we have anything for this? Audi TT Coupe, TTRS. Wait, that's my custom dude, my S2000. Oh, my GR Supra. So it's a combination between that and the thing. The S2000. I'm taking this. There's no shot. I wouldn't be taking this. This is just brilliant. This one's for the losers, the outcasts and the sinners. Ugh. I can't believe that it's stuck in my head. That was the last song I listened to as I was getting everything ready. So I was late because I'm like, I don't want to reuse the same thumbnail as last time. I want to change things up a bit. So I did. I went off and made my own thing. Oh, another Supra? Whatever. Where the fuck? That caught me. You know what? I need to crack my volume a bit. Boy! Yeah, we're restarting that one. I might have messed myself up with that part. Oh, you whore! He's the reason I crashed! Because he clung to me. Oh my goodness. Why are we not turning corners correctly? I have the grip for it. There's no reason you shouldn't be turning corners. There we go. Oh. Getting there, slowly but surely. Oh. Oh, that was only the first lap. That was great. Good lord. Oh, this is kind of peaceful when you're up front like this. I mean, they're getting closer, very close. Turning's become far harder on this car. Look at us go! Yeah! Thankfully, that's the only one you have to put up with. Yeah, you just win after the one race. Yeah, the 2018 S1 Celine. So, if you don't know who Celine is, they basically take stock cars and put their own shenanigans on it. Like, do custom engine stuff, custom body kits and that. And that's what you get by default from them. So we're gonna do, that is a very nice one. Oh, pardon. So what we're gonna do is we are going to I mean, we could use this. 546 foot-pound of torque, 710 foot-pound of torque. Is that an electric? No, it's 2014. Of course it's not. I mean, we'll use the 911 Turbo S. Because at that point, we're just at the very cusp. There's also a goose on it. With mummy milkers, apparently. So we're doing the 50 years of the Porsche 911 Turbo. Let's see what we can do. Why have we got 7 gears? Alright. After this race, I'll fix the gearing issue. Damn, this car is so nice. Oh, let's go! Nyum. Finish first, 2 minutes 15. Absolutely fantastic. I expected as much. Yeah, there we go. I mean, we just raced right through it. It's absolutely fantastic. I want to modify this a little bit though.
Been through a few tours with your convoy, I see. You must be working together like a finely oiled machine by now.
I haven't been through any convoys. What do you mean? Game's trying to gaslight me and think I've played this online with people. Now, to be fair, that is also an option. If people want to play Horizon 5 as part of like a community night or anything like that, they're more than welcome to. Gonna get my gear and the situation sorted. There shouldn't be 7 gears on this automobile. Should be 6. I keep knocking over my freaking water bottle. Right, so my gearing needs to change. We're already all-wheel drive. 6 speed. Why is that a thing? Like, I get why it's a thing, but why did the car come with 7 gears? It would be more beneficial to have 6 gears. That way each shift takes longer. And you're not chugging along. My gearing shouldn't have really changed. No, it surprisingly hasn't. There we go. Oh crap, I wanted to fix the stickers. A couple of my stickers aren't fixed correctly, so I want to get that done. The outcasts and the sinners. The song is so good though. I placed it when it was in the dark. That's much nicer. There we go. Absolute fantastic. So we've done 2 races in 26 minutes. We've had a bit of banter. I think tonight is when it is went. Let's put it that way. Now, could I have done with this being a little bit of a later time? Potentially. But I'm just fine with how it is now. Right, second one. This is a circuit race. I think yes, circuit race. So we're well on our way to it. Keeping in mind, this car is also 4-wheel drive. So you're getting all the power to the wheels. There's no, like, wheel spin or nothing like that. Wow, I got your PV on a speed trap. Nice. I could have done with giving this different wheels, but like, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm going to be a bit more quiet for this one. Because I'm going to be trying my best to focus as much as I can. Because that's what happens with games like this, you know. You need all the focus in the world for it. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was getting pinged. Freaking stupid ass email notifications. Thank God I took the right turn. Hmm. Yeah, this car is pretty solid. I'll admit that. I notice I have right analog stick problems. Very interesting. The car wouldn't turn the way it should have, was meant to have. It was more stuck on going one place than anything else. I think my tires might be a little bit too thick for this one, honestly. Because there are times where the car turns just fine, and then it's like, okay, we're now stuck in one position. There we go. I mean, we managed it. This was just fine. Like I said, these races are so much nicer than the regular ass ones you find around the map, because you don't have to put up with any BS shenanigan. These seasonals are the way regular races in this game should be. When you pick your vehicle, you should be put against other vehicles in that category. You shouldn't be up against upgraded Beetles and stuff like that. Because then the game really does fucking bug out and just cause all sorts of shenanigans to happen. Or not even bug out, it's all the rubber banding and like the custom profiles. So if you don't know, at one point I messed around with a modding tool and it gave me access to hidden profiles within the game for specific cars. And the theory that I came up with is that the game is using a combination of custom profiles for the computer to use, plus rubber banding. Now the rubber banding wasn't really part of the theory. It is part of the game itself. And you can see that in every single race you go in. The rubber banding is so bad in this game that it's on every difficulty level outside of Tourist. And I tested this on stream a long time ago. It was at some point last year. I'd done the same race with the same car at different difficulty levels. And at one point during the second race, which was not tourist, the first race was tourist. The second race was the next level up. There was slight rubber banding because I was far ahead of the opponent, and then I decided to drive slow. And as soon as I started to drive slow, one car in particular got real quick, real fast, out of nowhere. So that's where the rubber banding comes from. Cars being do you sell a Land Cruiser 8037? I don't have a Land Cruiser, do I? I probably don't. Fuck. Who does it? Who does the Land Cruiser? It is skipping me. It's either a Land Rover or Jeep. Land Rover. Well, I could very well be wrong. I don't know who does the Land Cruiser. Yeah, like I was saying, the races that the seasonals that we've been doing don't suffer from the shenanigans that regular races do. Even with the rubber banding, it is still an enjoyable race that you can beat in a fair manner. However, if I get into my DeLorean and take on a regular race, there's BS shenanigans happening. Because what it tries to do is if you get in a retro car, it'll put you up against other retro cars that are boosted to the same class that you're at. And in all honesty, it is annoying as hell. It really is. Because they use BS shenanigans. I showed this off in a previous Horizon 5 stream, where we got absolutely decimated by a Morgan 3-wheeler. And we had an even funnier time with it in Horizon 4. It infuriated me, but it was also interesting to see the BS shenanigans at work. Because in Horizon 4, we also went up against a 3-wheeler, a Morgan 3-wheeler, and it ripped on ice, and it really shouldn't have. Turn! God. This controller is busted because it doesn't always register moving the stick up. Yeah. There we go. Fantastic. Love it. Woo. So we got the 2023 911 Turbo S along with some XP. So that was that seasonal done. The seasonals are great. Yeah, whatever, I know. We're gonna go back here, we're gonna get a DeLorean, and we're gonna tinker with it, and get it just right. Oh, we also need to do the Forza-thon pass. You know what? Just for this trip back. Get in my boy, Kit! I am the voice of the night industry's I am the voice of the Night Industries 2000. You may refer to me, you may call me Kid. I am whom you may regard as the voice of the Night 2000.
The next Horizon Arcade event.
I don't care about Horizon Arcade.
Now. Enjoy.
It bugs me. It bugs me to no end. I hate how slippy this car is. So I tried to keep him at as decent a grip level as possible. Yeah, we've got some more. We've got some more left in us. We're gonna grab the DeLorean, one of the time machines. I'm gonna try the third one for starters. Then we're gonna fiddle with it. We are going to try and get it to a point where the car can drive without sliding too much. So reset the default tunings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try. Should I give it racing specs for a little bit? Or racing springs? I'm always going to give it a turbo and four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive just gives it all that extra power to the wheels. And racing diff. Now we get on to some really nice things. I don't think we need to update power too much, do we? I hate how this menu is so laggy. Like, yeah, we can do sports and racing springs, but do we need to? I mean, let's do racing springs, then increase the ride height. And what else are at? Tire thickness. Acceleration and launch go down. But we can make up for that. We can absolutely make up for that. Oh, racing twin turbo with any lag? Race ignition. I mean, we could also take out the turbo and then just be left with. Yeah, I think we're done just fine for what we have here. We are still 300 pounds lighter. We're up to 260 brake. Peak power is 130 horsepower, which is that in line with the UK spec? No, it can't be. This is an American DeLorean. They got converted to a time machine, so it'd be like a one. No, if I'm remembering correctly, the American spec of DeLorean. So for the US one, it should be about 130. Wait, they originally tried to sell this at 12K, and it turned out to be 24K? Yeah, let's see what the DeLorean Owners Club has for this. Hmm. Oh my god. I think the USA spec was like 130 horsepower, and the UK spec was around. Freaking what's his face? 190. No, 160. For a C class, I would have been happy if this was the way it was. What's our gearing looking like? We're looking at shorter ones. I think 134 would do it. Hmm. I think this is the appropriate loadout for this car. Huh, very interesting. The car itself is set a little too low. I'm gonna change that real quick. Yeah, I think what we have on it is definitely going to help it somewhat. I mean, there we go. We're losing a couple of miles an hour, but we're getting more acceleration. Right, so regular race time. We don't want cross country. Let's do racing. Like road racing. A road racing event that we haven't completed. And what we can do is we can drive to the damn thing. Oh, there's another seasonal retro supercars, 500k CR less. Interesting. Retro supercars, 500k or less. That's an interesting one. It seems like the only ones we have left. I mean, we could do road racing. Because at most, it'll be C class. Oh, blimey. Sorry, something just caught my attention for a second, dear. Yeah, I got nothing to say, I'll be honest. Because, I mean, we're in C class right now. We're almost B class. Yeah, we can quickly do this one. Should be fine. Yeah, we got 320 foot-pound of torque. 260 brake. My car is lowered. However, it's got better springs on it. We're kind of using it for its intended purpose. Or almost. I hate the fact it looks so lowered here. But that's just it. 2.5 tons of weight, 320 foot-pound of torque. I think another 20 foot-pound of torque would help this car a lot in terms of its weight. Just keep it in mind, it is an all-wheel drive at this point. I do need to raise that up more. But I do. My thing with this is I wanted it to have rally specification, whilst also being able to be used as a race car. So it would have a racing diff with a rally suspension. That is not what you should be doing. PLP 50 is crazy. Oh, knocked me off my racing lane. Yeah, look at the shenanigans going on in C-Class of all things. Look at that POP 50. There is no way that Volkswagen van should be doing any of that. I mean, granted, I am on stock tires. I generally don't have the best amount of power to me. Car needs more power. So the car in front, what is in front? A Myers Manx, which kind of makes sense, and then a Reliant Supervan. Like I said, when you do regular races, that's when the BS shenanigan happens. The Reliant Supervan shouldn't even be in front, even at a C-class level. There is no talented driver on this planet that could take an equivalent supervan and have it do all of that and turn corners the way that car does. It is not possible. It really isn't. It doesn't have a supporting fourth wheel to help balance it. And you might be thinking, oh, but it's just a video game. Yes, it is 100% just a video game. However, it's a video game that plays unfair to try and keep a competitive spirit going by using BS shenanigans to give the opponent the advantage they really shouldn't have. If anything, my DeLorean would be out in front, then the other DeLorean. Then after that, it would be the Myers-Manx and the van. Last place would be taken up by the Reliant Supervan, the POP50, and that three-wheeled Volkswagen. I know that's how it would have went. 100%. But the fact this game gives such an advantage to the AI with three-wheeled vehicles is just so unfair. And I'm not even in a high-end race. This is just C-class. This is 2 steps above the lowest class in the game. So I need to find a way to give this car a bit more power without overdoing it. It is also low as hell. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, the racing springs have done wonders. But I would genuinely like to know just how much more power we can add. Because some of our weight loss has come from giving the car a lighter drive shaft and just all manner of things. That is so low, it's unreal. Right, what can we even do with this? We've lost, what, nearly 500 pounds of weight. We gained a full point for handling. Actually, handling is relatively fine on this now. Eight more brake horsepower. So we would have. I want to keep her launch. Obviously, things like our flywheel are here. Why did this just kick me out of the game? Ah. Yeah, we're definitely not going for different tires. That'd be a waste. Interesting. So we can now do a couple of extra things. The front ones are what matter the most. If we lose 2 points for braking. Let's do that and then upgrade cams. I think that is the right move. Yep. Yep. I've decided upgrading cams is the right move for this one. Because we've gained a bunch of horsepower from it. And we also gained 10 foot-pound of torque. So let's see what we can do here. Oh yeah, that makes a world of difference. Right. That should help. Alright, road racing time. Actually, let's do a sprint. So we now have a DeLorean, a Back to the Future Part 3 DeLorean that can pull pretty well. Because what we've done is we've given it racing springs instead of rallying springs. We've got it to be just under B class. So we're at the highest end of C class on stock tires, racing springs. We have a twin turbo and a few other nice bits and bobs, including widened tires at the front. So yeah, let's get to it. Car should ultimately be lighter as well because we're not carrying as much tire. And rubber, the way tires are made is like there's like a metal band with all this rubber. Plus some other supporting stuff, like mesh and all that crap at a certain point underneath it. So, yeah. Now the strawberry matcha is nice. I've got a matcha latte. Do 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 do. What is this? Why am I being pinged? Of course I did. Oh freaking! Oh, there's of course there's a line. What the fuck is that thing? An S-Cargo. You got Morris Minor, Myers Manx, an S-Cargo, a VW Beetle, Reliant Superman, AMC Gremlin, PLP 50, Morgan 3-wheeler. So 1, 2, 3 3-wheelers. Like if you remember what I said, the game is biased toward 3-wheelers. Hmm. Car! Holy shit! If I could freeze them in place, I would for a second. That is unacceptable! Renault 4L at 600. Oh, that was unacceptable! We almost lost to a Peel P50. I've said it for ages. This game is heavily biased with the AI in regards to three-wheelers. Normally I'd say I need more torque, but I don't think I can give this car that much more. At least in C-Class anyway. Three-wheel cars in this game are a problem. And if they're handled by the AI, of course, because there's a lot of shenanigans that goes on there. If you give a regular player a PLP 50, they're not going to drive it as well as what the computer does. And yes, the computer is only going from point A to point B with no in-between logic. They don't stop, they don't try to brake check, they don't try to pass away from you or anything. Their goal is to get to the end, and they're going to do it with their foot flat. And I have proven this time and time again. But we are going to go out of our way to maximize what we can here. So we're going to take the age-old setup of all-wheel drive plus twin turbo, which, funnily enough, is still keeping us in D-Class. Yeah, we're not touching the 7-speed, it's stock transmission. Racing diff, obviously, and we also need brakes. Suspension. Anti-roll bars. Now, I do have a small problem with this car. It doesn't want to turn very well, so it is a bit of a problem. Now, here's where we need to pick our parts. Are we going right to the camshaft? And then the twin turbo. I mean, 320 brake horsepower is just being thrown out. That's eating up a lot of our budget. So right now we're at 333 foot-pound of torque. And we have the basics installed. We are going to do this. We have our basics. We'll get ourselves a bit more grip at the front. And the rear. Oh, wait. Nothing really changed for us all that much. Oh, it did. Oh, acceleration goes up a fair amount from it too. So what I'm going to do, drop the camshaft down a little bit as well. Actually, I'd rather not. We need to configure this to be quite... We can keep these as stock because our handling is only going down by 1 point. And so is our acceleration. We're on that cusp of... We have 1 point... Yeah, we'd have 5 points left. Can we get anything else at 5 points? That's 330 foot-pound of torque. Can we make up for it? So with 312 foot-pound of torque, horsepower, is there a way we can maximize this? Because if we went back to our other setup, which shockingly I didn't save. I can get quite retentive about some of the stuff I have here, so keep that in mind. So, racing drive line, racing diff. Then we have all the parts. Except for exhaust, I don't think we've got that. I think we also had a tier 1 camshaft. And now, if we go get tires, continue working, because I hit the wrong button. 601. What did we drop down for that? Let's drop down to stock valves. So this one is 347 foot-pound of torque. Or, no, 350 foot-pound of torque. We could be able to do this. What I want to do is... we're going to have a similar setup to before, but now we have the extra stability from racing springs. What I would like is to go a little bit of a different route. We need to pick all the parts that can send power. Also, shout out to the 4 people that popped in earlier. You stayed for like 5 seconds. So let's do this. Can't do all of that, mate. Yeah, we have all of that installed. Let me see what we can manage from this, because it is 30 points. Well, 37 now. If we go down with the camshaft to 19, we will get right to here. 313 horsepower with 357 foot-pound of torque. That is the upper echelon of this. That is all without an exhaust as well. It is a slight notch. We'd lose out on launch. But we do have great pistons, compression, all that kind of nonsense. We can do this on stock tires. Yeah, we can definitely do this on like what stock tires. I do wonder though. What can we get away with in terms of... What if we restrict ourselves a little bit more? Like, keep it in D class. What can we get away with? Because we've already done the all-wheel drive and the turbo. We do this, and do this. I mean, there's a lot that's changing us from D class to C class really quick. I guess we can do this. I mean, we're in C class now, so it doesn't really matter. However, if we want to keep it low and dandy and all that hunky-dory stuff, we had best stop that right there. We're at 381, 600. We're up to 257. Yeah, I think what this is, it'll do. What we're doing here is just, yeah. I think this is fine. I got a gift in a barn. So we're gonna try and keep the acceleration going. That should be alright. Springs. A bit stiffer. Bring the right height up. Thumping. Aero's fine. Def. Bring it up for rear. Bring it out here. Moving on up. Yeah, let's make it like this. I think this is a little bit of a better way to go. Yeah, that's definitely the better way to go. I think I might have made my tires a little too puffy. Or flattened one of them a little bit too much. Ah, let's see.
Please tell me, please tell me.
This side up, this side down.
That's generous. Well, just the spirit of Horizon, isn't it? Shall we send a thank you?
Shout out to whoever sent that car in, by the way. I don't know what it is. A Sprinter Treno? An AE86? My man, just hooking me up with a drift car? Ah. Alright. Now that our car is a little bit more finely tuned, let us find a sprint. You know what? I think we're gonna pull acceleration back just a little bit. Do that. Riviera. So currently the DeLorean is not even that bad. Listen, what the hell? We have a look at. Oh man, I got so many nice cars I can use, but I'm choosing to use my DeLorean. If I wanted to, I could. What I really should have done is increase the tire wear to the back and the front. I think what we could have done is made a grip-focused Part 3 car and then built up from there, just so we can turn better. And I think that is what we're going to do after this race. If we're still not able to do this race, what I'm going to do is just take it back and just do a little spit and polish to it. No, you cheating son of a bitch! I'm gonna make you regret that! We're gonna quit the event and do a more grip focused build. Because I'm not standing for the cheating that's going on here. You saw the way that Reliant Supervan was behaving. We don't stand cheating computers. Reliant Supervan and the PLP-50, as soon as I pulled up, they couldn't do shit. We bumped into the PLP-50 and it spun out of control like it should have been doing. The same goes for the Reliant Supervan. So the game devs have no reason to make them as cheating like this. So I'm going back. And I am going to make a build that is going to conquer that at the C-Class. The tire thickness will do. I'll have more contact. I'll have a bigger contact patch with the road on both ends. But what really screwed me up was the rain. I was hydroplaning. I really wasn't a fan of it. So we're going to see what it takes to lower the performance enough. So we need to reduce ourselves by 23 points. So we're keeping the fuel system and the ignition. Camshaft is stage 1. We are losing a lot of performance here. So now we have to take a look and see what we can lower even more. So I do want to keep these as thick as I can. What happens if I go down to, say, this, and then this? What would reduce me the most? We're obviously keeping things like cooling in. Actually, that would help a lot if we didn't do that. Because we already have an intercooler, so what's the point? That brings us down to 600 exactly. We are losing a lot of horsepower. However, we're losing horsepower and torque. However, we're gaining grip like crazy. Just by thickening our tires. I could feel it already. Oh yeah, that is way less. So, I could have avoided that, but I chose not to. Because I wanted to see how much pull I had before the car felt like it was sliding. And it turns out there's a fair bit more pull on there. So I'm pretty sure I could safely reduce the tires width on each side by a couple sizes. Gain back a little bit extra power. Because more than anything, having the stock tires is so terrible that you need to do what you can. So in terms of tire width, we're only one down at the front. We lose a shocking amount of performance. So if we go down here, actually we lose one performance index for that. We do that, we might just have a good enough setup here that we can recoup some of the lost performance. Oh yeah, no, we have it. That is it. We have it. See, we did have like what 317 horsepower. But by us configuring ourselves in a specific way, we gain back some of it. So what? Let's check the car section real quick. So 0 to 60 is 5.7 seconds, and a stock DeLorean that was what 9 seconds, 10 seconds, give or take. But the car that we have right now, our torque is at 335 foot-pounds, 284 horsepower, 2,600 pounds. I think we're race ready. Let's take it to the circuit race here. It's a lot trickier to slide. Yeah, we still have our... Yeah, we should be largely fine. We have our grip here. Yeah, I think what I need to do is... bring these gears along here. Yep, slight alteration. Oh yeah, that would have slid if we had it on stock. I think what we could do is for this circuit race, have the gears come up and be more akin to acceleration more than anything. Look how fucking puffy and inflated they are, Jesus Christ. Also, shout out me, I need to go change my hairstyle in the game again. Cause I done got short hair. You fail, you fail. Ah, wow, 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 wow. Tierra prospera. Oh yeah, we're going right for acceleration here. Yeah, we'll do that. Everything should be right for this. Also, how's chat doing? Good lord, this is 3 laps as well. Hmm. Look at that son of a bitch! This is so unfair! You see the way that PLP 50 drives? It should be falling over. It should be struggling to go around corners. Yet it's not. Also, hi viewers! Welcome on in. I hope you stick around and check out the BS that's going on here, because we are being crashed unfairly. You can also make the argument that they've done this just to get you to play online, and in all honesty, if that is the case, I hope the team need to have a long think with themselves and a bath full of lava for this BS shenanigan, because this should not be happening. checkpoints like this need to die on a hill and never come back to Forza. They also need to remove the rubber banding from these cars. It is not wanted. I do not actively want to play these races in Forza because they're so unfair and so unbalanced. You have to wonder if the developers of this game were on fucking crack cocaine and smoking every other drug under the sun whilst making this. It is the most retarded thing on the fucking planet next to the US presidency. Fuck rubber banding. You're a fucking loser if you implement it into any of your games outside of anti-cheating. And for context, Need for Speed Most Wanted does it, but only if you... It only does it hardcore if you use cheats to unlock all the performance parts at the start of the game, where every car under the sun has a rubber banding and access to all these performance parts. In this case scenario, a PLP 50 Reliant Supervan should not be able to even be in the position they're in, because they should have fucking tumbled over. They should have been so far behind. Do you want a Lamborghini Venmo maxed out? Go to VIP. What? VIP? Got what? What do you mean? I don't get what you're on about. These rubber banding mechanics are the reason why I don't actively play this game. And I refuse to play a game like this online. When I play a game like this, I want to have chill races that are against actual AIs that can drive, that are not rubber banded to high heaven and back. Sure. Keep the performance that they're at now, but don't have them so rubber banded they're unrealistically fast for what you can reasonably do in this game. I can get a PLP 50 and get it to the same performance index of the one that's in this race, and it would do nowhere near as well. I would be in dead last halfway around lap 1. This is dog shit! You cheating motherfuckers! I refuse to lose to these brain-dead, retarded, spasticated, mongoloid, outdated piece of shit mechanics! I could upgrade this even further, but I'm gonna lower... Oh. I mean, we lose out more handling, but our turning radius is already tight enough as it is. This should, in theory, be fine. Yeah, increasing the readers does nothing really substantial. Our displacement's up there quite a bit as well. So we're at 346 foot-pound of torque. We've got an extra 10 foot-pound of torque on our belt here. Yeah, we've went up by almost 10 horsepower. We've got 10 foot-pound of torque extra. It is absolutely not going to be enough. Not by a goddamn long shot. I mean, I could remove the weight reduction to gain a bunch back, but then the DeLorean is just going to handle more like a boat than anything else. Yeah, we're not doing that. What I'll do... I'll just try and do this. Bring it on over a bit. Bring it back. 135. We have the extra power. The extra power is not going to help us. And I'm wasting a lot of money doing this. The thing is, there's probably cars in the same class as the DeLorean that are like, yeah, we're definitely outperforming it. But my whole point is, quite literally, the three-wheel cars have an unfair advantage. They are given such an advantage because of the rubber banding. I don't know how the logic works for it. Why are we getting the same fucking shit? There's a lot more retro cars I could be driving against. The Ford Anglia is passable. Oh, fucking loser ass AI. Where are my fucking sights, loser? Fuck! fucking piece of trash retard! I fucking hate it. Literal fucking monkeys. They don't know what they're doing. I will always stand by that. The developers of this game do not know what they're doing most of the time. These individual races being so goddamn rubber banded. It's just horse shit. Fucking leave rubber banding out of Horizon. God, you're so fucking retarded. God. What we're gonna do is we are going to keep this car in D class and try to nerf the opponent as much as possible. That way what we're doing is all just down to skill rather than anything else. Oh god, no turbo for, well, we can have a turbo. Oh god, no. What could we theoretically get away with? Alright. We are going to this extent. I don't know how fast we're actually going to be. This is pretty nimble, not gonna lie. Let's bring it down. I go down now, we. Ride height obviously gonna be higher. Damping, soft. My diff all the way up. There we go. It actually isn't too far off what it was before. Alright, let's oh, what was the circuit race we did? Road racing biggest fan? I think. Moving on up. Yeah, this is the one. So we're using D class here. And it's going to really show off the rubber banding problem. I should have put spacers on that car. Good lord. That is absolutely going to rub. But no, what should have happened, or Rather, it's going to show off just how absurd everything is. Because we're at the high end of D class, where nothing should really be all that powerful. Oh, like I said, some of the decisions make sense to a degree. But like, huh. What is up in front? Is that Super Van? Hmm. So we've made this DeLorean more usable than it had any right to be. There we go, we won it! So if you want to do the regular races, there we go. A Volkswagen Van Type 2, a Beetle, Mars Max, Morgan 3-wheeler came in 9th. Must have crashed or something. And 2 Reliance Supervans in the last. So the rubber banding is really bad among all classes and all difficulty levels. This race proves as a whole that the devs put, when it comes to the fun stuff, the devs clearly put time in. So they put time into the Hot Wheels track, which is fantastic. The rallying stuff, no one asked for, but they're like, hey, have some rallying. And we're like, nah, I'm good, Chief, I'm good on that. But, is there a racing fuel system in, racing condition? But yeah, like I said, they put little to no effort into the main components of the game itself. So you're left with this unjustifiably terrible thing going on here. Because when you get right down to the nitty-gritty of it, it's like, what is the point? What did we reduce for that? Oh, did we not take something down? To be a little bit better off with it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. 177 horsepower at 306. And we'll just reconfigure this a little bit. The DeLorean itself, we have made it infinitely better as a vehicle. Like this one specifically. Because when you look at how it functions, as a whole, yeah, it is clearly obvious. There we go, we'll do 139. I made a version of the car that I do like in driving. So that's something to keep in mind. So yeah, we'll get on to have a little bit of a daunt about this in a second. Oh, that could very well be the next thumbnail. Next thumbnail confirmed. See, our mistake beforehand. I'll take my earbuds out. Where's my case for them? Case? Hello? Oh. Oh, lovely. The earbuds are about to die. Love. But, yeah. When it comes to... When it comes to Forza in general... Like... This game itself fundamentally is great. Fundamentally, it is incredible. Like an open, you see what Forza Motorsport does. You take it from the track and make it open world. But obviously there's some sacrifices you have to make. You're not track racing. It is a whole different set of rules that you're following. However, for Forza Horizon 6 to be good, you know what? I might just make a video on this, but I'm going to say some things here. When it comes to Horizon 6, they need to get a lot of things down pat. Because they're tackling JDM territory. So they're going to want to give you things like body kits, have more have a focus on what makes JDM special, like all the different things that you can do, like touche, drifting. How are they gonna pull off the whole the highway stuff, or the inner loops and outer loops of different regions of Japan? Because there's loop races, there's a whole lot of sprints, drifts, and all sorts of shenanigans over in Japan. But to truly make Horizon 6 good, they're gonna want to abandon. They want to go back to things that made Forza good in the first place. So, like, you have an intelligent AI that learns from you. That brings me to another point. They shouldn't be so hard stuck on online. They need to get the balance back of older games of online and solo play. Think of Motorsport 4. You had the ability to share vinyl skins, wraps, all that kind of stuff. You had your marketplace. None of the online stuff was forced upon you. You had your event calendar and you could attend things. I'm not saying event calendar should come back. I am simply listing things that you could do online and offline. On the offline component of things, they had an AI that made the game more balanced. It made you want to play both on. If you were having a bad time online, you could play offline and still have a memorable time, even on the highest difficulty, without having to worry too much about rubber banding. Like, yeah, Motorsport 4 had M. Rossi. His car wasn't pimped to high heaven. It really wasn't. It was his driving, it was that AI's driving that was carrying him. And he would be aware of you. The drivers in this game that you race against, or at least the computer versions of them, are not aware. They're just not. It's like they're possessed and they want to go from A to B and nothing gets in their way. That's the way I see it. And it's the way that the AI acts, or lack thereof acting, because they just don't. Like with one or two of the DeLorean races tonight, there was that one AI that would veer off into us for no reason. And it's just wild and insane. I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan of it. And it is terrible. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You need to make the game different as well. The biggest upkeep from 4 to 5 in terms of Horizon, at least for me personally, was the weather. The weather in 4 was absolutely gorgeous. And you got to drive through Edinburgh in the snow. But the snow was also a problem. And it affected your driving. And that's the rubber banding and the dodgy AI was like, nah fam, this ain't it. We don't care about that, we're just driving like masters. And I have proof of this. I have absolute 100% proof of this. From various live streams, in fact. So you can't dispute that. It doesn't matter that I'm playing on one of the highest difficulties. That shouldn't give rubber banding. And I already showed in the past that rubber banding is on essentially every level. It really is. And it's terrible. It shouldn't be that way. And they force you to race against rubber banded opponents to get the reward vehicles. So, ultimately, when it comes down to balancing a game like this, the developers have no idea what they're doing. They give you an AI that's rubber banded to high hazard with custom profiles that we can't access, and I know about them because I've already seen them and I showed them off on a live stream. For me, they didn't change any performance stats, so that must mean it's some kind of a trigger. So that kind of a profile gets put onto a car, and then the car is driven by an AI, and then the AI drives it like a fucking madman. And it's suited for being driven by an AI, rather than whatever. I never tested it. I looked at the stats and like, this does nothing. Why is this here? And then I'm slowly putting 2 and 2 together with this theory. And it's like, what? Are you kidding? Rubber banding is not a problem in some scenarios. Like I said, Need for Speed Most Wanted utilizes it pretty well. Even though it's an EA title, the original Most Wanted is honestly fair and balanced. You use cheats to unlock all the parts at the store. The computer gets to use them. And thus, it makes the rubber banding stronger. And thus, you kind of run on luck rather than your own driving skill. Whereas, if you do it normally, you have to put up with the regular opponents with regular rubber banding, and then you're relying on skill rather than overpowered opponents. You see how this works? Because you can use cheats to unlock all the parts, but you won't have the money to get all the parts. But the opponent will. Fair play. The way that it's done in Forza Horizon 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, it isn't fair. What is the... You actively make the game worse by having rubber banding and dodgy tuning profiles that we can't use. Take out the tuning profiles, tone down how things are done. And you know what else? When you take a car into a race It shouldn't be performing against the same type of vehicle. It should be performing against the same class of vehicle, not the same type. Every car I raced against today were all retro. Mix it up! I took a C-Class DeLorean in. I should be racing against other C-Class vehicles in general, like a Honda Civic, freaking whatever else is in C-Class. Market 3-wheeler is fine. Just don't put a bias on them, because they just rip. When they were doing the Horizon games, they put no thought into it. Outside of maybe 1 and 2, I don't know what the retro stuff in 2 is like. But in 1, you could take a Beetle, go into a race, and then you're just racing against other drivers of that same class. Not the same type of car. So you done fucked up. You fucked up big time. It's like in Motorsport 4, I can take my DeLorean in, so long as it's the right class, and it will race against other cars of the same class for that race. I took it into the Asian tournament, and I drove against Asian vehicles of the same class. That's what should be in Horizon. Don't put me against these crusty-ass retro vehicles. It technically makes sense. You want to race against your own kind. But when you're doing shenanigans like this, don't. Just don't. Just put me against other C-Class vehicles, not all the same type. Mix it up. Do 90s and 80s mixed in with some 2000s. Don't put me against a 1953 fucking car. Like I said, the devs don't know what they're doing. This game shows. Anyway, tomorrow I will be live with the Belllands. We're playing Spite 2 tomorrow. Then Thursday is going to be community night. Or not community night. It's going to be community picks. Now I'm going to be checking. I'm going to check it now, actually. The poll that I put up. Because I went and redid my poll, basically. So the original poll, someone on Twitter picked Fire Emblem Engage. I have had no other replies or anything of that nature to my post. Let me quote it real quick. God frickin' flip phone. Let's see. And there we go. We're getting reposted with appropriate tags and everything. One thing I've been slacking on for years is when I do posts, they don't contain tags, like hashtags and that. So I've been trying to rectify that recently. I used to do it fairly often back in the day when I was first streaming. I want to try and garner as many views and follows and all that as I possibly can with what I do. It's one of the reasons why I want to be more community focused going forward. So obviously there's Bellend streams. There's gonna be community picks. You pick what game you want to see me play. Then there's community nights where we play games together. And then going forward, I'm gonna start playing some of the bigger games that are free to play. So like Marvel Rivals and stuff like that. I'll give that a crack and see how people feel about it. But yeah, that's all I have for you tonight. If you've enjoyed yourself, like, subscribe, share. You want to be a channel member? Feel free to click that join button down below. You get early access to videos, access to exclusive content, like videos that I've just never put out for public. There are a couple there that I've never went for public because I'm like, I've done the work, I just didn't like the video. I was just a bit too rambly, I didn't feel like editing. So, chroma keyed myself, and then made sure there was a beginning and an end, and it matched up, and then sent it for members. There's also cut content from videos, so dead air conversations that wouldn't have worked for main portions or main videos, and just like general jokes that wouldn't fly and stuff like that. So yeah, you want all that? Channel member, click join button down below. $1 a month. It goes a long way to not only helping support this channel but keeping you entertained. And with me popping out more videos, $1 is gonna go a long way for you. Anyway, that's all I got time for. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.